There have been so many names who have entered the transfer portal, it's actually easier to ask yourself who didn't leave my university rather than who did. But one name that's still out there looking for his long-term home is former Texas A&M wide receiver Evan Stewart. Where will he land? What is his best fit? And is the recent news coming out of Eugene, Oregon, potentially a destination for the former five-star pass catcher? Let's talk about Evan Stewart. If you are new here, welcome on into the channel. My name is Cole Thompson. I'm a radio show host based in Houston, and I talk college football daily. So if this is the type of content you enjoy, plus coaching searches, transfer portal news, national championship buzz, and a bunch of other nonsense, make sure that you smash that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment telling me your thoughts on where you would like to see Evan Stewart strapping up in 2024. Tell your friends, your family, your mortal enemies, best of bros, college football aficionados, and really any fan of football out there, because we are on the race to become the #1 YouTube show talking college football daily. Make sure you follow me on social media at Mr. Cole Thompson. That way, conversations surrounding our favorite sport never have to stop flowing. All right, so Evan Stewart. Kid was, when healthy, very capable #1 receiver at Texas A&M. There was a lot to like about his game. Good hands, exceptional route runner, physical after the point of contact, the ability to go up and make a grab that you just your jaw drop afterwards. All of that was on display in College Station when he was healthy. Finished his career with roughly, if I'm not mistaken, 91 catches for a little over 1,200, a little less than 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns, an average of roughly 13 yards per play. Good receiver looking for a new home. And naturally, when you lose your head coach, the guy who recruits you, when you start to see the surplus of talent leaving in the offseason, you usually follow suit. So I hold nothing against Evan Stewart, wherever he wants to go. I understand the move for it, but there's rumors now saying that he is going to go visit Eugene this weekend, and he will go meet with Dan Lanning. He kind of gave us an inclination that this was possibly on the radar. If you look at his Instagram and you are a freak like me who likes to check out other people's IG stuff, he posted a photo of the uniforms of Oregon right before the Liberty Bowl. The Fiesta Bowl, when they played Liberty. There we go. No, I get my way back there. That's kind of an inclination that he's at least interested. And when you think about a team like Oregon going to the Big Ten, adding in as many weapons as possible is going to make you that much better. When you look at a team like Oregon and what they did this past season and what they know is at hand in the Big Ten, you want to have all of your ducks in order, quite literally, before you go quackers. Adding a player like Evan Stewart is probably not a necessity, but it's an added bonus. You get him in that locker room to be your new #1 receiver for Dillon Gabriel. Basically, you're losing Troy Franklin and you're replacing him with a guy who could be there for 2 years. You're losing Bo Nix and you're replacing Bo Nix with basically Bo Nix left-handed. So the same results that would occur for you in the Pac-12, you expect to occur for you now in the Big Ten. Difference maker on the outside, exceptional route runner that will be able to win at the point of attack. More importantly, upside when it comes to his route running, when it comes to his play style, and a seasoned ability to be able to go ahead and hold his own in the Big Ten. I like the fit a lot. I think there's a lot of reasons for optimism if he were to go to Eugene. I think there's a lot of reasons to believe that he would come in immediately and be the plug-and-play starter in place of Troy Franklin. And the proof of concept works. Whether or not we agree that Tez Johnson was an elite receiver during his time when he was at Oregon, was a good one, came from Troy, joins his brother, Bo Nix, goes up there, has 2 good years. Guess what? Now at least he's probably going to be draft eligible. So you like the fit. You like the proof of concept. You understand what a player like Evan Stewart is thinking. But let's just say things go south really fast. Where else could he be looking at? I think #1 is Tennessee. There's already been rumors and there's already been reports saying that Tennessee is pulling out of the Evan Stewart sweepstakes, but never say never in the world of college football. One no doesn't always mean an absolute. It means for the time being. We'll revisit this at a later date. That later date could be, I didn't like what I saw at Eugene. I didn't like what I saw at these other schools. I like what I saw here. I'm sorry about my attitude. Let's just go ahead and make this work. And that could be Evan Stewart. Imagine you get in Brew McCoy. Imagine you also add in the wide receiver from Tulane. They just got another kid from the transfer portal. Imagine what you're bringing in with a tight end from Notre Dame. And imagine that you also now have Nico Iamaleava as your starting quarterback. Upgrade at #1 wide receiver, solidified #2 wide receiver, 2 up-and-comers who are coming in for the transfer portal, and you feel like maybe you've even upgraded at quarterback. If Iamaleava lives up to the hype, this is a kid that will basically rewrite the entire record books in Knoxville. And wouldn't you want to be that receiver that was able to be on the opposing end? Peyton Manning became a household name in the NFL thanks to Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison Jr. Don't you think that the guy that would beat all of Peyton's records would love to have a number one just like Marvin? Wouldn't you think he'd love to have a guy like a Reggie Wayne at his disposal? So naturally, if there is an opportunity for this to unfold, this go offense, the style of play that Josh Heupel looks for in wide receivers, this just feels like a match made in heaven, like biscuits and gravy on a Saturday morning before kickoff. This is exactly what you're looking for. Another school, Texas, plain and simple. Texas at this point has now crossed the threshold of being in that realm of we have to compete alongside others for transfers. No, we want a guy, we're going to go get a guy. That's why they've been very picky about who they're adding in via the portal. Look at the names that they've recently added. Trey Moore from UTSA, Defensive Player of the Year in the American Conference. Number one receiver from Houston, Matthew Golden, also an elite special teams return man. You also added in a guy, an Andrew Mabuka, former ACC Freshman of the Year. So they're going out and they're saying to everybody, we have a standard set in Austin. Follow the standard, and if we don't think that you fit it, we're not going to offer you a spot. And now they're adding in a handful of transfers very carefully to basically not ruin the culture that's set in stone. Here's the good news when you have great culture. You can add in 20 transfers, you can add in 50 transfers, you can add in 200 transfers and rebuild the roster. You have a good culture in place, everyone's going to follow suit. And I think Texas has a great culture in place, from the defensive linemen to the offensive line to the wide receiver room. And adding in Stewart only fortifies your roster to where if you lose Adonai Mitchell, along with Jatavion Sanders, along with Xavier Worthy, along with Jordan Whittington, well, now all you're doing is you're replacing one young stud for another young stud. Jonte Cook comes in, Matthew Golden comes in, Evan Stewart on the outside. Basically, you're running the same offense that you had last season, but with newcomers and proven experience. Last team, Florida State. Florida State for me feels like the safe bet if he does not go to Eugene. And the main reason why is proof of concept. Who gained the most from the Seminoles this past season? You could say it would probably be Mike Norvell. You could say it would probably be the offense, the defense. You could actually say it was probably the College Football Playoff Committee just for shoving them out the door. Keon Coleman gained the most from the likes of transferring to Florida State, because if he realized, if I go to a team with a quarterback that's solidified, with an offense that identifies at the NFL level, and I'm successful here, my draft stock is going through the roof. Evan Stewart, talent-wise, could be a first-round pick. The way he plays the game, his ability to win at the point of attack, his athleticism, his straight line speed, all of it is on display. He could end up being a first-round pick, but he has to have the first-round production. You can prove that at Tallahassee, because Keon Coleman right now, flirting with day one buzz, certainly going to be a name to watch for when it comes to the NFL draft circuits. Guy was a baller this past year for Jordan Travis. Go-to receiver, you need number 4 for 6 points. Guess what? You got number 4 for 6 points. Now you get number 1 for 1 touchdown per game. Look at that. You're right back in the running for the ACC title. But those are the teams I think are going to make a lot of sense. Oregon is the front runner right now as well. They should be. I think Texas is not going to go away quietly. I think Tennessee, if they're able to work their way back into the sweepstakes, huge advantage for them with Nico Iamaleava's progression. And Florida State, let's be real. They need a wide receiver 1. Evan Stewart's a wide receiver 1. It's a match made in heaven that both sides can see an agreement when it comes to the NIL fund. Thank you so much for watching that video. Don't hit the X button yet. Make sure you hit subscribe to keep up with all of our daily content found on Just Saying It and anything else that we post on this channel. Bye.